Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I apologize for the sound of the fish tank back there, but anyways, here I am with another video showing off something that I got in the mail recently. I got it last week, so I'm recording this a little late. I do apologize. This is not an unboxing. I've already unboxed it already. It's something that I've known about for a long time, probably since I was 9 or 10. It's something that I don't think a lot of people are that familiar with. It's a box set of the Abbott Costello Monster films on VHS. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, Abbott Costello Monster films on VHS. Oh no, I've definitely seen that box set before. Some of you might even be thinking, oh, I have that set. What are you talking about? Okay, I believe most of you are probably thinking of this set right here. This one from the early 2000s. Yes, that was a commonly available set back in the early 2000s. So, and I've definitely seen it pop up a lot on the internet. I'm sure I've probably seen it at least once or twice somewhere back in time. In fact, my friend Ansel, who's a filmmaker, I mean, he's a big movie buff, horror movie buff. I know that he has that set. But no, I'm not actually here to talk about that set. This was a set that I saw in a magazine when I was like 9 or 10, and I always sort of wanted it. I was even kind of egging my dad at the time to maybe get it for me. The problem is that two of the movies in it I already had at the time, and I think that was a major reason why he didn't want to get it for me. But it was always something I've been on the lookout for, and just recently I finally found one on eBay. So I finally decided to get it. I mean, it was even at the point where about 8 or 9 years ago, I even took it upon myself just to see if I could even find that catalog again that I saw it in, just so I at least had some type of physical proof that it was out there at some point. And I searched around eBay because the copy of the catalog we had, I don't know what happened to it. It probably got thrown out somewhere along the way, but I did eventually find that catalog online. This isn't what we're here to look at. I just figured I would show it real quick. So it was this copy of this catalog that I saw what we're about to look at in. It's the Critics' Choice Video and DVD presents The Big Book of Movies. It's the 2003 edition. So I would have been about 9 or 10 when I was flipping through this for the first time. So I'll see if I can find the page that has the set on it. Oh, it's right here. We have a whole page here for Abbott and Costello titles. The set that I'm talking about is the one right here in the corner right here. Abbott and Costello Meet the Monsters Collection. 5 creepy comic classics. Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. Abbott and Costello Meet the Killer, Boris Karloff. Abbott and Costello Meet the Invisible Man. Abbott and Costello Meet Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And Abbott and Costello Meet the Mummy. 5 cassettes, black and white, not rated. I thought that looks like a cool set. I wish I could maybe get that. And I just didn't at the time. I kept looking for it, and then finally, the other week ago, somebody on eBay was selling one. And I quickly made my move, and I finally got it. So let's take a look at it real quick. It is this set right here. As you can see, it's in a thick blue outer box here. It says Critics' Choice Video, and there's a telephone number at the bottom there. This, I'm pretty sure, is pretty much like a standard box that they would have for their exclusive sets. In fact, you know, just going back to the magazine for a second, I even saw some like other sets in here that had like a similar box. If I can just find them real quick, give me a minute. Oh, even on the page right after the page that we were looking at before, there's a box set right here, Francis the Talking Mule Collection. As you can see, it's down there. It's actually in a similar blue box right there. So yeah, I think this was just a standard box set that they would use for their exclusive sets at the time. But the thing that made it very interesting for me, this particular set, was, as you can see, unlike that set that I was pointing out earlier, this one has 5 movies, and as you can see, these are not the same editions that are in that other set. These are actually the 90s editions. Let's look at them real quick. We have, of course, the classic, Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. Abbott and Costello Meet the Killer, Boris Karloff. That's another sort of highlight of this set. We get an extra movie. The one that was commonly available at most retailers only had 4 of these movies. Didn't have this one, so that's kind of cool. And then we have this one. Abbott and Costello Meet the Invisible Man. Abbott and Costello Meet Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And then the last one is, of course, Abbott and Costello Meet the Mummy. Now, Meet the Mummy and Meet Frankenstein I had at the time that I first saw them in this magazine, so again, I think that's part of the reason why, when I was like kind of asking my dad if maybe he would get this for me, why he didn't at the time. So I just kind of kept a lookout for it over the years on eBay. And like I said, somebody on eBay finally had it. And I did briefly touch upon this when I did a video a few years ago when I was talking about all those Universal Monster home video releases, just because I knew about it, even though all I had to go off of was the picture of it that was in this magazine. But again, part of the reason why I find this interesting is just because, again, these are the 90s editions, which, I mean, again, the other set that most people know about, that came out, I think, 2000, 2001. It just seems interesting that as late as 2003, they were still selling a box set that had those 90s editions. These are the 90s covers, which I just always thought was kind of interesting. And that's a big reason why I was hoping I would find this set one day. Sure, the contents in the set itself are not exclusive. I could easily go on eBay and find all these titles individually, but I just thought the fact there was this box set at some point, I just thought was really cool. And I just was hoping to find it. I did finally find it. There was also another set kind of similar to this. So if you recall, back in the mid-90s, when Universal were issuing all their Universal horror films on VHS, they had those 3 collector sets. One had Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wolfman. Another had the 3 Creature from the Black Lagoon movies. And then there was a Mummy set. Here's the Mummy set. I actually have a sealed copy right here, believe it or not. As you can see, this set has the Mummy, the Mummy's Curse, and the Mummy's Ghost. Sort of an odd selection because you're kind of skipping over 2 movies. The original Mummy technically never had a sequel. The original Mummy is sort of a standalone, so I can understand the sense, you know, it doesn't really matter what movie you jump to after that, you're not continuing that movie anyway, but the fact that you're still jumping to 2 other movies that are a continuation of 2 other movies that this set doesn't include, I just thought was weird. Like, if I was doing this set, I would have done Mummy, Mummy's Hand, and Mummy's Tomb, personally. But the reason why I'm bringing this to everybody's attention was because, much like this Abbott and Costello set that we're looking at right now, evidently, Critics' Choice Video did sell a Mummy box set that had the 5 Mummy films. I saw this on eBay a few years ago, and I almost got it. I remember it was sealed, and I almost was gonna get it. I even remember that whoever was selling it, I looked at where they were at, and it said they were in Atlantic City, New Jersey. I live less than 20 minutes from Atlantic City. I was almost gonna message the seller and be like, listen, can I just come pick this up from you? I mean, I was gonna place the order first, obviously, but I mean, I was gonna save him a trip to the post office. Unfortunately, somebody grabbed it before I had a chance to, but it was the 5 Mummy films, so these 3 films plus Mummy's Hand and Mummy's Tomb. In fact, there's even one on eBay right now, last I checked, but the reason why I don't think I'm going to get that one is just because it's kind of a mixture of editions. It had like 2 Mummy films that were the 90s editions, and then there was like 2 or 3 other ones that were like from the early 2000s. It wasn't like a consistent batch in terms of which editions they were. Correct films, yeah, it's the correct films, but it just looks weird having 2 of them being the 90s editions and then just like 3 others that are from a different collection but the same films. You know, it just looked weird. So I don't think I'll be getting that one. Hopefully I'll find another one like that one I saw a few years ago where all 5 titles was those 90s editions. That would have been a much cooler set to have than this one, in my opinion. I don't know the full history of this Abbott and Costello set. I don't know when they first started selling it. Obviously, they were selling it as late as 2003. I don't know if that was actually the first year they started selling this. I would like to think because it's the 90s editions, they were probably selling this maybe a few years earlier than that. I don't know for sure. I don't know. I mean, obviously, these are reprint copies. A good way you can tell that it's a reprint copy is like, let's look at the cassette real quick. You won't be able to see it in the camera, but on the label here, in the background, it has the Universal logo in blue, and it's just kind of stamped all over the place. Keep in mind, the copyright on the label is 1991, but that Universal logo, that print logo, wasn't in use till like 1997. So this is clearly a much later reprint copy. Just for comparison here, let's look at this copy of Abbott and Costello Monster I have right here. Here's how you can tell it's an earlier copy. Instead of that Universal logo, it's got MCA Universal Home Video in text. Not a logo, it's in text. Just typed over and over again in the background there. And another way you could also tell this is an earlier copy. It has this bottom label with the title on it. But either way, still cool. I'm definitely glad I finally have this. I've been looking for it for a long time. It's nice to see that I do have the actual proof right here. It was out there at one point. I don't just have the magazine to go off of now, but yeah. This is it, my nice little addition to my collection right now, which I thought was kind of cool, kind of fun. So I'm probably going to start wrapping it up here. Hopefully I'll have this video posted maybe later today or sometime this week. I also have another video that's in the works. It's a semi follow-up to my last video. It's actually, believe it or not, it's a video I filmed almost 7 years ago. Actually, I think it's been a little over 7 years now. It's just footage that's just been sitting on the back burner because I was very disappointed with the footage. And even going back to it now, editing it, it's not one of my better videos. but I just wanted to kind of get it out of the closet, cut it together, and bring it to everybody's viewing pleasure or displeasure, if you will. I don't know. So hopefully that'll be coming soon. But I wanted to wrap this up here. I just wanted to show this off because I was really happy that I finally got this. I don't know how many of you back in the day were ordering from Critics' Choice Video, but if you were, they did have this set at one point, and they even had a mummy set that had the 5 mummy films if you didn't want to get this 3-pack right here. That's pretty much all I have to say for now. I hope everybody's having a good week. It's Thanksgiving week. Have a good Thanksgiving. Have a good holiday. Stay safe out there. Check in for some more footage. Sorry for a motorcycle going off there. But anyway, we're going to wrap it right here. Have a good day, everybody. Thank you for watching.